Ladies and gentlemen, this particular story is a bit disheartening for a lot of reasons. We have two babies involved in this situation. And because of a father, a so-called father, a man that made some kids, I don't even want to refer to him as a father, but he is the one who helped create these children. Okay? And you guys know that I have been such an advocate for asking mothers to give the fathers, the biological fathers, a chance to be in their children's lives. But it seems like fathers like this set us back. They set us back because they make us look bad. This story comes out of Norfolk, Virginia. Those kids that you just saw on my screen, their names, those babies, are Yvonne and Demere Warren. Yvonne, Evonne, and Demere, Damere, Warren. These babies were supposed to grow up together, fated by birth, to play, learn, and discover the world side by side like siblings do. But Yvonne would never meet her little brother, and Demere would never get to know his big sister. The siblings were born 1 year apart. 1 year apart. And they died 1 year apart. I want to make sure and give you guys a moment to absorb that, because that is a lot to absorb. They were born a year apart and died a year apart. Everybody catch that? Bookmark that in your brain. We'll come back to it. Their father is now accused of murdering both of them. A grand jury indicted an individual. Let me see if I get his face up on the screen real quick. This fool right here. Dwayne, D-U, and then Wayne. D-U Wayne. Dwayne Warren, 26 years old, was indicted on 3 counts of second-degree murder in Norfolk Circuit Court on Wednesday, and Warren was previously charged, let me say it again, previously charged with killing his 3-month-old son, Demere, and the baby's mother, whose name is 22-year-old Epiphany Andrews. Let me see if I can get her face up here. That's Epiphany Andrews, 22 years old. So there's only 4 years difference between them in age. And he is accused of killing them on December the 29th of 2020, this past year. Prosecutors brought a 3rd charge of second-degree murder against Warren Wednesday, accusing him of killing his 3-month-old daughter, Yvonne, a year before beating her brother and mother to death in their Norfolk apartment. Whoa, Nelly. Whoa, Nelly. Can we take a pause for the cause real quick? You'd have to ask yourself, if you're listening to this story, so you mean to tell me that this man is suspected of murdering a mother and her child, their child, and let me see, we're in July, 7 months later, he gets another opportunity to murder another little baby? Did anybody think about that? How? How? Especially knowing what he's suspected of doing. And you have to remember, we're talking about babies. What were these babies supposed to do? 1 year apart? How can they speak for themselves? How can they defend themselves? If this doesn't sound like a thug, and again, we're talking about his actions, not his skin color. This is the thug lion that I'm talking about. And remember, hashtag you date thugs, you date death. And clearly some people out there are not listening to my message. The news first learned about Yvonne's death in June when reviewing Demir and Andrews' autopsies. The Office of Chief Medical Examiner reported that Andrews and Warren had another child who died of suspicious circumstances on December 19th of 2019, 1 year before Demir was killed. Autopsy report. Y'all see that? I'm going to read that again. Andrews and Warren had another child who died of suspicious circumstances on December 19th of 2019, 1 year before Demir was killed. The Norfolk Police Department confirmed that they were investigating Yvonne's case as an undetermined death. The OCME determined that Yvonne died of suspected asphyxia, also known as suffocation. Yvonne also suffered from blunt force trauma injuries to her body, which were healing when she died. Bookmark that. The OCME did not determine what role those injuries may have played in her death. The OCME ruled her death as undetermined. The OCME found that Demir died of blunt force trauma injuries and may have been smothered to death. Does that sound suspicious? Asphyxia, smothered to death. Two different children, two different situations. Smothered to death. The OCME's report also found that Demir had extensive bruising and scarring on his body and several rib fractures that were in different stages of healing. Again, those two things sound very similar. A forensic anthropologist determined that the fractures were consistent with abuse over the course of his short life. Y'all are about to get really upset about what I'm getting ready to say about the biological mother. Y'all ready for this? How is this much abuse going on to these babies that had different stages of healing, which this abuse happened over time, and the mom didn't know? Did y'all catch that? Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. For those who might want me to wrap this up and put a bow on it, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I believe. I believe the mother knew that this son of a bitch was abusive and abusing these children and abusing her. They're not even children. These are babies. I think we could put them in their own classification. Babies. Can't speak, can't walk, can't stand, can't feed themselves. And you mean to tell me that level of abuse went on throughout the course of this baby's life and mom didn't know anything? Really? Huh. That's interesting. Because I just did a number of stories on our channel. If you go back and watch the videos, how they're making it seem like the moms just didn't know anything. The mom was out till 3 a.m, came home, went to sleep, didn't check on the kids. Oh, wake up 6 hours later, the kid is missing, the kid is dead. Really? And you didn't know anything? You didn't check on the kid? And then it took you 45 minutes to call 911? Not this story, not this story, not this story. Another story on the channel. All I'm saying is it looks really weird, the fact that you have this much neglect going on. That's neglect. If you don't notice that your child has been abused, matter of fact, and I got to give a shout out to my daughter's mom, and I'm going to continue to shout her out and show her some love. Because my daughter's mom, even for me being a loving father, a caring father, a father who was there from the moment that my daughter was born. And I'm still in my daughter's life. I'm going to always be in my daughter's life. She went into mommy bear mode after it was time to take my baby home. And I think it took her maybe about 6 weeks before she felt comfortable leaving the baby with just by myself, just me at my house. We're talking about me, somebody who loves kids, been around plenty of kids, have plenty of experience around kids, and she was still protective around me. And you know what? At first, I'm not going to lie to y'all, I didn't understand that at first. As a father, as a man, my pride was hurt. I was like, what the hell? I'm like, I know how to take care of a baby. It's my baby. Like, why can't I be in my baby's life? And my mom had to explain to me. She was just like, calm down. It's not a big deal. You are going to get your time. Be patient with her. That's what my mom told me. And shout out to my mother. Because as a man, I didn't understand it. But I can thank her for that, because even for somebody she knew since I was age 13, somebody she's known her entire life, was even protective around me. And you'd have to ask yourself and look at this funny looking MFer right here. I have to mind my tongue because I can't curse on this channel very much. And you look at this dude and ask yourself, how well do you think the mother knew him? Did the mother do a background check on him? Why would you leave infant babies in his possession? What qualifies this fool to be around babies? Not only being alleged to cause a death of one of them, but then you got a second opportunity to murder another one. That is bad on the mother's fault. Let's move on. The same forensic anthropologist who examined Damir's body on January 2021 also examined his older sister's body a year earlier. That forensic anthropologist reported similar findings from the examinations of both infants. Andrews, who birthed and lost both of her children within a year, also suffered a tragic fate, allegedly at Warren's hands. The OCME reported that the mother was beaten extensively. Embrace yourselves. The mother was beaten extensively and was cut and stabbed 25 times. 25 times. For those who have listened to my channel long enough, what do we call that? A crime of passion. That is rage. That's all that is. That is rage. That's usually from somebody who is overly obsessed, allegedly in love with somebody, and that sounds like this dude fits that character mold. That guy. Stabbed her 25 times. She and Damir's bodies were discovered by police in the living room of their 6 Bay Street apartment after neighbors called 911 and reported a domestic disturbance around 1 p.m. on December 29th of 2020. Before his arrest, Warren issued an apology to Andrews and his family on Facebook, and although he did not name Yvonne or Damir, he referenced the 2 children in his post. Would you guys like to see that post? All right, let's take a look at this. Let me make sure. I'm sorry for what I've done. Actually, let me read this first one. It says, "My babies, I love y'all. I'm so sorry. I pray God takes care of them. Piff, I love you so much, and something, I'm sorry for not being a better and loving father to our babies. May they rest in peace. I took everything from you, and all I wanted to do was give you the world." So let me read this message and see if it's the same. This message says, "I'm sorry for what I've done is unforgivable. My babies, I love y'all. I love y'all. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I loved you both. I pray God takes care of them. To the women I've hurt. He said women. Jeez. What an idiot. He said to the women, not woman, not singular, to the women. To the women I've hurt, I'm so sorry. I really wanted to be better. To my family and friends, I'm sorry for everything I've done to you and any pain or hurt I've caused you. Mama, of course, his mama's boy, because he probably didn't have no damn daddy in his life. Mama, I don't know I don't know what I am, but I know I'm not good. I'm sorry I couldn't be a better son. I love you so much. Piff, I love you so much, and I'm sorry for not being a better and loving father to our babies. May they R.I.P. I took everything from you, and all I want to do is give you the world. To my brothers, I love y'all. I'm so sorry for everything. Charity, I love you. I love y'all and pray, I-N-P-A-R-Y, in pray. This nigga is an idiot. I love y'all and pray that life gets better. This is hard to read. And pray that life gets better for you, and I pray that people get better. I pray that you all treat each other better and take care of each other. Like he treated the babies? Like he treated the baby mama? Really? Huh. Interesting. He's telling other people to treat each other better while he's over here murdering people. He said, I failed to be a man. I'm a monster, and for the things I've done, I deserve death, and today I meet my maker. Take care. God bless. I love y'all so much, and I'm so sorry for what I've done. My babies, may God be with you both. This boy is an idiot. But anyway, I think they need to go ahead and get him up out of here. Let me give you the fair usage. Let's go ahead and show you the news videos. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
For some people, there's just a special place in hell, man. Let's show these news videos.
On to at 6:30, new information about the death of a baby and his mother in Norfolk in 2020. 10 on your side obtained a copy of the autopsy, which shows the child likely suffered several beatings over the course of his short life. Police charged Dwayne Warren with 2 counts of second-degree murder in December of 2020. Police say he killed 3-month-old Demir Warren and his mother, 22-year-old Epiphany Andrews. Detectives found both bodies in their apartment on 6th Street in Ocean View. Further investigation into Demir's death shows that the infant had extensive bruising on his body, scars on his face, and a fracture to his left arm. The charges against Warren have been certified to a grand jury, who will decide if the case will proceed. Warren is still in the Norfolk City jail without bond. He declined 10 on your side's request for an interview.
A Norfolk man is charged with killing his 2 infant children and their mother.
A grand jury indicted 26-year-old Dwayne Warren on 3 counts of second-degree murder in Norfolk Circuit Court yesterday. Then at your side, Stephanie Harris is in our newsroom now with the latest from court and neighbors in Ocean View. Stephanie.
Tom and Anita, Warren admitted to 2 of the killings, issuing an apology on Facebook right after the murders in December. He was immediately charged in those deaths. Yesterday, prosecutors brought a 3rd charge for a baby who died a year earlier. Yvonne and Demir Warren, sister and brother, born a year apart. Tragically, the 2 never met because they also died a year apart. Prosecutors say at the hands of their own father, 26-year-old Dwayne Warren.
He's a sick individual.
Neighbor Misty McCormick woke to the throng of police outside her apartment on 6th Bay Street in December when officers found the bodies of 3-month-old Demir and his mother, 22-year-old Epiphany Andrews. 10 on your side obtained copies of their autopsies, which show Andrews was stabbed more than 25 times and suffered blunt force trauma to her head and face. Demir was also severely beaten, suffered broken ribs, a bite mark, and was possibly suffocated. It's also in this report we first learned about Yvonne. The 3-month-old died under suspicious circumstances.
Oh my God.
Neighbors in disbelief didn't know about Yvonne until we told them.
What was the point of putting her on camera just to say that? I'm sorry, that was just weird. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just a weird person.
Oh my God.
What was the point of putting her on camera to say that?
Neighbors in disbelief didn't know about Yvonne until we told them. The medical examiner found she suffered a similar fate to her brother. Before his arrest in December, Warren apologized to his family on Facebook, saying, "My babies, I love y'all. I'm so sorry."
It's all tragic. Very tragic.
Neighbors want the death penalty for Warren.
I wish Virginia didn't do away with it. And I'll take whatever consequences might follow my words right now. But anybody that's sick, yeah, they don't deserve to live.
I 100% agree with her. And no, ma'am, nobody is going to be mad at what you just said. Matter of fact, we're going to replay what you just said. Let y'all hear that one more time.
Neighbors want the death penalty for Warren.
I wish Virginia didn't do away with it. And I'll take whatever consequences might follow my words right
Listen at this. This is key. Listen at this.
now. But anybody that's sick, yeah, they don't deserve to live.
Anybody that's sick, they don't deserve to live. Does anybody disagree with her? Or do y'all agree? I think that's real talk. Matter of fact, KLS, thank you. If y'all agree, type that in the chat. Type real talk if y'all agree. Because that's some real talk right there. There's a special place in hell for this jackass. A special place. Right next to Satan.
Even life in prison, they say, would not be enough.
Because you're taking away an innocent life, somebody that didn't get to say so on what they want to do with their lives.
And this is not the first time Warren has been accused of a violent crime. We found charges in Norfolk General District Court and Virginia Beach Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court. No word yet on his...
Wow, let's hear that part again. Listen at his criminal record. Remember I told y'all, Mom didn't do no background check. Let's listen at this again.
And this is not the first time Warren has been accused of a violent crime. We found charges in Norfolk General District Court and Virginia Beach Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court. No word yet on his next court appearance.
Let me let y'all hear that again, because I called him a thug. Listen at his violent history. For some reason, the worst men continue to get all of these women and all of these babies.
It's not the first time Warren has been accused of a violent crime. We found charges in Norfolk General District Court and Virginia Beach Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court. No word yet on his next court appearance. Stephanie Harris, 10 on your side.
Man, the most violent people have no problem getting them a woman. That is the craziest thing. And we continue to put our children in danger. But again, I think that's really scary. The fact that he was suspected of murdering the first child, and somebody gave him grace, whether it be the mother or the courts, I don't know, and turn around and let him be around a second baby, and then it cost us 2 more lives. So in total, including his life, we've lost a total of 4 black lives. And I want y'all to remember how they say hashtag BLM, which we changed that and it stands for hashtag babies lives matter. But if black lives really matter, then why can't we look at these situations and realize this is not the government doing this to us. This is not the police doing this to us. This is not poverty doing this to us. This is not because we're disenfranchised. This ain't because we had horrible books and nasty schools that we went to. This ain't because our neighborhoods were poor and trashy. This is because the mentality is trashy. You have to fix the mentality and a lot of other things around that, around your area, around your circumstance will change if you change the mentality. The change has to start here. It has to be here, then here, and you will see it in your actions. That's where we have to make a change. We have to start caring about the nuclear family and stop dating thugs. Because what happens when you date thugs? See my t-shirt? It says, the advocacy for children, hashtag date thugs, date death. 2 babies and a mother are gone. And this fool is going to probably end up doing life in prison. Maybe they'll give him the death penalty. We don't know. We don't know. But he deserves it. And he definitely deserves an eternity of his soul suffering, especially what he did to those babies. There should be just a special punishment for that alone. So let me say this to those babies. Beautiful little souls. Let me get him off my screen. R.I.P. brother and sister. Young prince, young princess, R.I.P. Thank y'all so much for listening with an open mind and an open heart. I'm DJ Just Jay. We're the AFC, where we're going to continue to put our children first and stand up against thugs, okay? From my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much for listening. And we'll see you on the next story, okay? Peace.